Today, we're diving into 8 holiday revenue generating ideas for health professionals that you can use to end the year strong. So, if you're like me and the other smart and high achieving health and wellness professionals that I get the privilege of working with, we are spending our energy and efforts to maximize revenue generating activities in Q4 to do two things: get a sliver of the revenue that's expected to be spent during the holiday season, one, and two, really set up for the Super Bowl of fitness in Q1. So, what I find a lot of health and wellness professionals do, which cause them to slow down in Q4, is they miss the mark on messaging and communication that, in fact, will set up people for success instead of causing them to think about their health and choices during the holiday season. So if you're curious about how to maximize your revenue, stay till the end because I'm going to give you 8 revenue generating ideas that will help you end your year with a bang and set you up for ultimate success in the new year. Okay, before we get into these 8 revenue generating ideas, I need to give you some context for how I'm setting this up. First of all, an offer is more than just your membership, your products, your services. People are not buying your time. What we really need to be considering is what this offer, this service, this product, this offer that you're putting together is actual problem it's actually solving. So you really need to be clear. What is the problem that this offer solves? Number 2, we need to consider the promise. What is the promise that this offer is going to deliver on? And it's essential that you make sure that you are communicating an offer, a want for something that they want, not what you want them to want, not what they need, but what they want. And then we need to consider what is the asking investment and what is the promise. Now, with the price, if you are trying to be the cheapest option and using price as your distinguishing factor, that is the fastest race to the bottom, and you're pricing on commodity. What we really need to consider is what is the asking investment and are we in the sweet spot? And the sweet spot is going to be a combination of these, meaning, have we made sure that the math behind your 6 and 7 figure business works? Have we maximized leverage? Meaning, can we go one to many as much as we possibly can without sacrificing client result? So there's going to be a sweet spot where there's going to be revenue left over to either pour to after you pay yourself to pour back into the business. So you need to make sure that the offer is fun to deliver, so irresistible that it's easy to sell because it's solving big problems. So the truth of the matter is you might need to take a little bit of attention and really take a look at your offer. So think through those lenses. What's the problem that you solve? What's the promise that your offer is going to deliver? Is the process something that is scalable without sacrificing client results? And is the outcome that they want 10 times worth the asking investment measured against the cost of not getting started? There's more components, but dial those in and you'll know pretty quickly whether or not you have set yourself up for success. So that's just a little bit of pre-work as we dive into these 8 revenue generating ideas. And I want to make sure that I'm really responsible in sharing that with you as we get into this. Because number 1, the first idea is give yourself a raise promotion. Now, considering the context I just shared, it's important to remember that there is going to be a market threshold for whatever it is that your offer is that you are putting together. Now, in my experience and with the people that I work with, chances are you are way undervaluing and way undercharging for your services. And you get to be the person and the owner of the business to really decide. And I'm willing to bet that if you just gut check yourself right now and ask yourself, I'm willing to bet that you're undercharging for your services. And so ask yourself, am I? Because the thing is, what people don't realize, and this is what I mean about making sure that your offer is sorted, because if you begin to scale the offer that you're currently at, you're going to need more resources to fulfill on it. But if your profit margins aren't within the 50 to 60%, then you're going to be working in the red. Getting more sales isn't going to help you. So it's imperative that your offer is actually set up to scale. So I'm willing to bet that you need to give yourself a raise. And so instead of just raising the price come January 1, especially now, spend Black Friday or this holiday season to gear people up to get ready by getting in their program purchased now at this current rate. Because if they wait, then the price is going to go up. So it's really important that you are communicating to your clients that, hey, we're going to jumpstart your New Year's resolutions. Because listen, I know that everyone's like, it's who hates the way. I hate that everybody waits till the New Year, new you. And I get that. But as a business owner, we need to meet our clients where they're at. And while it might be irritating to us, the fact of the matter is people are going to turn over a new leaf at the start of the new year and they're going to set New Year's resolutions. So meet them where they're at and you can shift their perspective along the way. People who've been on the fence for a while, give them a chance to jumpstart their New Year's resolutions where you'll have some things to help them maintain through the holidays. But really, if this is for 2025, this is going to generate you revenue. And if they wait, then the price is going to go up. So spend your Black Friday season really getting them prepared for 2025. And that if they wait, price is going up. So I want to talk about number 2, and I want to talk about how it's slightly different than what you might see in other holiday promotions and in other digital products and services, and as well as brick and mortar products and services. You see this a lot in retail. You see this in groceries. You actually see this all the time, but it's something I don't particularly love, which is when products and services go on sale. And I particularly don't like it because I hate when people have you ever had that moment where you just bought this pair of jeans or you just bought these pants and then the next week they go on sale and you're like, that's so irritating. And sure, if you went back to the store, they would probably honor the promotion. But that's so much work. I was just at the store. I don't want to go back and go through that. It ends up irritating me. And it also ends up leaving a really uncomfortable experience inside of for your clients, for your company. And I don't want to run that risk. To me, I feel like it's more of a headache and time commitment than not. So instead, what I like to do is I like to do a revamp of the products and do a product promotion. So it's similar to number 1 in the sense of, hey, take a product that's on sale now that people can buy and let's revamp it. One of the things that people get confused, in my opinion, when it comes to evergreen is that evergreen is consistently fresh, right? So can you look at some of your offers? Can you update some of the trainings? Can you give it a new, fresh, revamped look that you are going to raise the price come whatever time and spend this time to be like, hey, this price is actually going up. So grab it on sale now because it's going to be revamped. And this is going to give you a cash infusion of a product that you already have done and likely don't have a ton to revamp and refresh. So that's idea number 2. And then on number 3, this is also another on sale bundle idea. So the reason, now first I also want to give some context as to why number 2 and why number 3 typically work, okay? Because when we go back to the offer creation, one of the components is urgency and scarcity, okay? And the number 1 way to drive inner urgency as well as outer urgency is time. Have you ever noticed or worked in a gym that, closeout is the biggest day of the month and no matter what day it falls on, sometimes there's absolutely no literal difference between Tuesday and Wednesday during a closeout, except for the fact that it's a closeout and it's a deadline. But these deadlines are arbitrary. You can move them around and make them work in whatever capacity or way that you want to make that work. And so for me, I don't like false deadlines. And in fact, it actually is against FTC regulations if you say things like usually sold at X and it's never sold at X. Just make sure that you're being honest with yourself, with your clients, with your customers about the truth about a sale bundle. And so this is why I always like, or the truth about your sales and your promotions. This is why I like to create new things, repackage new things instead of just taking, instead of just putting things on sale. To me, I feel like the effort to revamp something is minimal. Personally, I'm not willing to run the risk of a disgruntled client. I don't want someone to come through my world and be uncomfortable and unhappy in their first experiences with me. Now, of course, naturally, it's going to happen. So I'm not saying it never happens, but I do my best with what I can control to provide a really excellent client customer experience when they're coming into my world. So, number 3, in that vein, I like to create on sale bundles. So, is there a way that you can revamp your products and services and then bundle them together so it looks like a new, fresh product from the products you already have, and then run that as a promotion for the Black Friday season? Number 4, speaking of new products, what is in your mind in terms of your products and services that is new and fresh that you've been hungry and excited to get out to the market space? Whether it's complete or not, the stuff that you have that I bet you've been sitting on for a while, or you're waiting, you're like, oh, maybe I'll use this for new year, new you. Let's get it out to the space now, because you can do 2 things. You can, which is what I was talking about, is kickstart idea, which is the products that aren't built yet. Maybe you have an idea of the things that you want to put together. Regardless, just to share out loud, oh, this is coming. It'll be finalized by on this date, or we're going to build this together. Whether you're doing number 4 or number 5, whether it's a new product that's already put together, or number 5, it's an idea that you want to put together. Let's invite people to be the first ones to try it out or to build it together. And then once it's complete and ready, then you're going to raise the rates and go to the next step. Regardless, this is your opportunity for a cash infusion for the holiday season. Plus, it puts you on the front foot instead of the back foot for the New Year's resolution, people. Because while it's both true that people are going to be inundated with inflated prices and inflated health and wellness experiences for the New Year's resolution, number 1, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, but number 2, everyone's going to be maximizing this opportunity. So when you get ready now, you'll be on the front foot of the infusion of promotions for health and wellness. New year, new you. So number 6, this leads me to the back end offer for your existing clients and customers. The thing is, once you've solved a problem, there's going to inevitably be the next problem to solve. So do you have back-end offers, whether it's maintenance membership, whether it is a upsell, a workshop, a retreat? Do you have other offers for your existing client that you could present to them for the first time during Black Friday? So this is essentially your ascension model. What's the next problem that you're solving? Now, what I find a lot of people make the mistake of when it comes to their ascension model is that they're actually not creating products and services that ascend clients to the next step. What I find actually happens is that we've priced products and services in different marketplaces, and it misses the mark in actually solving problems for their ideal client in momentum. So I think of it like this, okay? What people don't understand is that just because it's cheap or just because it is low cost doesn't mean it's low value. You get to have products and services of all different investment prices that serve your champagne client. Now, that doesn't mean your 1% client. It means it serves the person who's in momentum and ready to solve the problem that this product and service solves. So it's this idea of like, hey, people who shop at Neiman Marcus or people who shop at high-end places also have Netflix. They also have Disney Plus. And they're not paying some premium price because they're in the top 1%. I'm not saying get out of your market space, and people mess this up. because it's not for us to decide what's expensive. Expensive compared to what? There needs to be a value exchange that matches, meaning that the outcome received is 10 times worth the asking investment. That's how you make a product or service irresistible, easy to sell, and fun to deliver. Okay, so now we're gonna get into number 7, and these can be super fun. This is like the buddy promotion. So do you have people that love to work out together, right? So could you have two for the price of one? So this is a BOGO. Or maybe it's like two for the price of one and a half. Okay, so that's another example. So it's like the buddy promotion because working out with friends is more fun. And there's so many different variations that you can do of the buddy promotion where depending on what the offer is that you're creating. So maybe you have a high ticket coaching program. So maybe you do two for the price of one and a half, and maybe you do like a couple. Or maybe you have a membership where it's like, hey, bring your friend and then you'll get 2 months off. If your friend signs up, then you're going to get, then they get a free month and you get a free month. Like there's so many different variations that you can do of the buddy promotion. It's going to double down on your cash infusion, but it's also going to increase your lifetime customer value because now you've got more customers and you didn't even have to pay or invest in Facebook ads to acquire that lead. So it actually is going to generate more revenue in the long run. And then number 8, what are the swag? What are the tangibles? What are the fun hand things? Like, do you have shirts? Do you have hats? Things that are new that you don't usually sell throughout the year that you're only selling during Black Friday. That is number 8. And there's so many other ideas that you can do just based on these 8 to give you an infinite amount of revenue generating ideas that you can use through the holidays. Now, just as a bonus tip, this is a little bit of strategy, and maybe I'll give you, a different episode on the strategy of how you can actually do the promotion experience of these revenue generating offers. What I want to offer to you during this time is that we're not necessarily inviting people to focus on their health during the holidays, because the truth of the matter is most people are like, I'm just going to wait till after the holidays. So if you can match and you can really meet them where they're at in your messaging, then you can get a cash infusion for the new year and then be set up to scale to the moon. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this was helpful for you, please leave us a 5-star review. It literally takes seconds. It helps us help more people. And if you want to go deeper with me, then check the links in the show notes. All of our promotions and opportunities are listed out in the show notes, including a free profit plan where we can really help you strategize some of these offers that we outlined today. Great job. I'll check you in the next training.